welcome to another episode of Africans Talk Football TV. How's everybody doing tonight? How y'all feeling?
Good man.
Like $1,000,000.
I
I
feel
feel,
red.
yeah,
Little blue.
I feel like we've all had better days. This is one of those days on the pod where, unfortunately, none of us got the 3 points this week, but we'll get into that in a little bit here. Just want to say thank you again to all of our friends, all of our supporters out there, whether this is episode one or whether you've been rocking with us from the beginning of the season or when we first started. Just want to say always support, always appreciate the continued support, and just want to say, Young Trini, welcome back to the podcast. You hit me up a few days ago. You said you had some words about Ten Hag, so I wanna start with you and Salam actually, since obviously as tradition goes, the loser goes first. Um, Salam last week, felt very very confident about his team going into this rival is old as time. This rivalry is old as time, and I feel like the other members of the pod that are non-United fans kind of looked at him crazy. Like, these first two matches, Liverpool has looked solid. They haven't conceded a goal yet. We know that Klopp isn't there, but Arne Slot has looked like he's got them very, very, just on point, to be honest. We talked about how they didn't do anything in the summer, as far as transfers. They finally got Chiesa this week. We could talk about that a little bit as well. But for the most part, we kind of looked at Liverpool not really knowing what they would look like to start the year. And, 3 weeks in, they with fashion 3-0 against you guys. So as far as the match, three big mistakes led to three big goals for Liverpool. When you're looking at your team, how does that make you feel moving forward?
Is it on me?
One of you got to go.
I thought it was on you, but I
Go
can
ahead.
go.
Go ahead. Guess my brother. Go ahead.
All right. First of all, thanks for having me as always. Eric Ten Hag out still. We'll talk about this game in particular. The setup was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. We're back to having that lone six in the midfield and no one for the six to pass to. Yes, I know Casemiro probably had one of the worst games I've ever seen him play in my life, with a lot of errors. But look at the places where he's getting the ball. The next closest midfielder for him was 15 yards away almost every time. You can't expect someone of his age and also all that time and space in the midfield to make a good pass when Liverpool is closing constantly on them. So I would say Casemiro had a terrible game. Rashford had a terrible game again. I don't understand how that guy is getting picked week after week. And Ahmad, our player of the month, is sitting there watching from the stands what do I got to do to get into this team? Garnacho came in for him. I mean, typical performance from him. He pops up in places and then he just makes bad decisions. And our captain, who I like to call Gaffer, because he always instructing, always talking, and always doing everything but not playing in the game. Went missing as usual. Big Six game. Where was Bruno? Hiding. I don't get it. I don't see what this manager sees in these players that he constantly picks. I don't see what this manager sees in the system that we're trying to play. I don't even know what we're trying to play anymore. You've lost a 31-year-old manager in his third game. I know what Brighton was trying to do. You lost to a manager who's 3 games in with a team who he's completely changed the identity and part of the midfield. I know what they're trying to do. Fulham, all right, you got to win. But I still didn't see what we were trying to do at Fulham. You've been here 3 years, and you've been outcoached by 3 managers. And you happen to squeak a win. And we're still negative goal difference 3 games in.
It's your identity, though. I did this last season. Y'all was
I told you about this last season.
-6.
I ran it to the ground. This manager, I don't know what he's trying to do. And he's allergic to ballers. Everybody with some kind of technical ability stays far away from this team. And if you can run a 4x100 meter in under 11 seconds, that man is going to pick you. You do not have to have technical ability to play in this Eric Ten Hag's team. So I know we signed Agarte and all that. I don't know what he's going to do in that midfield. I don't see that signing helping us after today. It's just going to be Ugarte for Casemiro with the same space. So I have no clue what we're trying to do. I saw this loss coming. This is why I messaged him early, because I knew this was coming. And the crazy thing about it, Liverpool could have scored 6 on us. They started styling on us. So it's like, cut that man back, trying to get a nice goal. He's thinking about the highlights in his head. You know what I mean? They could have really, really, really destroyed us. And then the final thing, his comments after the game. Man, miss me with all of that, bro. Talking about second most trophies since Man City. Shameless.
It's true, though.
Man, don't do me that, bro. It's shameless.
Like, you don't think
that is shameless. It's time
right.
for him to go. He has to go. Rude, show us what you can do until Christmas, and then we have to figure out what we're going to do from here on out. But I'm tired of this, man. I am tired. Like, this man is like putting on the greatest horrible magic show I've ever seen before my eyes. It's like, and telling us over and over, like, hey, we're playing good football. We're going to win trophies. We're going to do whatever. It's -4 goal difference after 3 games. That's all I got to say.
Wait. Before Salam goes, I want to ask you about the Ugarte comment. You do not think putting Ugarte in Casemiro's position today, that would have made a difference?
So let me tell you this, right? To me, their attributes are similar, but I don't think he's a better passer. So to me, it's not going to help the team. Now you get a worse version of a player. He might be a little faster, a little quicker, going side to side, but asking someone to cover 15 yards of space constantly, I mean, that one player, when there are 2 around him, he's getting passed by easily. And then when he does win the ball, there's no option for him to pass. So it doesn't matter who you put in that spot, you get the same outcome.
Okay. But in the grand scheme of things, you don't think he's going to help you guys at all?
Squad depth, I mean, we'll get another player to put in there. That's it? I mean, once again, as long as we're going to be playing this system, whatever it is, it doesn't matter who you put in that 6. It's going to look the same.
I see what you mean.
You know, I just want to start by saying, I echo what Ten Hag said. We have won what we want. But that's a fact. I understand what comes with the role that he has. You know what I'm saying? I understand. As a United fan with our history, obviously, we want better. We want this. We want that. But again, like, I look around and, you know, some people are praised for things that I didn't know you could be praised for. But I just appreciate my manager for bringing me trophies delivered twice, in spite of some of the circumstances that he's had to go through. Nonetheless, obviously, this game was the result was poor. 3-0 loss to Liverpool at home is very, very disappointing. This isn't the first time that it's happened. And this
I should have just forfeited.
That's what I said.
Well, no, I mean, there were some positives. If you followed my lock of the week, you hit. So congratulations. The only positive was the lit. That's the only positive. The only I mean, you haven't lost with me or Mike. So continue to follow us as we continue to release those week to week. But I mean, I just feel like we got punished for mistakes. Me personally, I will say this. Liverpool, obviously, I know what I said, and I still stand by that. I know this is the first 3 games, but I didn't realize that. I guess the season is over and done with. We have a lot of games left. And I guess, you know, at the end of the season, we'll see where all of us are. But Casemiro has, like Kerry said, probably one of the worst games in his professional career. 2 costly mistakes, 2 goals. I think that's essentially what killed us in the game. Even the 3rd goal was a mistake by Kobe Mainu. And, you know, Andre Onana's positioning is just, you know, has to be questioned as well, too, on that 3rd goal. I feel like that was terrible as well, too. But as a team, they look better than us. And I think for me, the most disappointing part is that this guy has been here for a summer and already has established, you know, what he wants to do.
In year 3, we're still playing the way we've been playing with the same players at home. This whole defensive, not proactive, just kind of reactive style. So I feel like that's what killed us in the game. I really think that like we were with Liverpool today. I really believe that. I really believe that, especially in the first half. Second half, I feel like is really where the game got away from me, in my opinion. Yeah, I felt
What
like in the
game were
first
you
half we were
watching?
in there. The first half we were in there, bro. The two goals is what I think killed us in the game.
This guy
In the
shameless.
first half, but again,
Wow.
I think you got to question some of the players that were picked in the 11. Some of the players that are continuously picked have shown that they're not going to produce or, have any consistent production at all from game to game. So, like dropping Ahmad was criminal to me. And
Manager.
yeah, I mean, and to my last point, I said this last episode, with Rude kind of just being there. I'm very happy that Rude's here, but I think this manager wants to expedite, this whole process of like getting himself sacked. Because I just feel like if he continues doing what he's doing with some of these decisions in terms of, I mean, you heard the boos when Garnacho was subbed off today. Like that's not. These aren't just people talking about this and that. This player, this player. This is a whole fan base, a whole stadium, kind of blew in the manager. He doesn't deserve to be taken off. Ahmad doesn't deserve to be not started, but obviously it's tough to kind of get a loss like this early in the season. But for me, we have to learn from this, and I believe that we'll get better with the players that we have coming in. So it just sucks that we lost the way that we did. But if he continues to do this, by sticking by some of these players, which I don't know why he does, he'll probably be gone by Christmas.
Yeah, I don't agree that you guys are with Liverpool.
That's fine.
But I do want to say though.
That ain't no problem. That ain't no problem.
No, I do want to say though. I just think that this match just showed me that there are levels. Like
Facts.
there's clearly a top 3 right now, and there's clearly the rest. And this is what this match showed me. Like, yeah, you can make signings, you can do this, you can do that, but as a team, are you cohesive and can you make it happen? And this was just a big eye opener for me. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, they're not ready yet. And you can, and I also want to comment just about your comment on, you said, oh, Ten Hag, we have the most trophies right behind City. It's like,
it's a fact.
You can, that's sure, it's true. You can say it's a fact. That's fine. But I do want to say that, like, you're not really doing anything in the league, though. Like, you're not making much progress as a team. And it's like, we used to do that as well. Arteta got a FA Cup. He got 2 FA Cups. He did his thing, but we were still getting 8th. And it's like, okay, yeah, we might not have won trophies, but we're trying to knock off the best teams in the league, in the world at this point. And yeah, we can win these trophies, or we can try to achieve something greater. And for me, it's like, all right, yeah, you guys got 2 trophies in 3 years, but you guys are getting 6th, 7th in the league, not really doing anything in these competitions when you go anyway. So what do these trophies like really mean? And And exactly, and those trophies meant nothing to me because I didn't see anywhere where we're really going until the past 2-3 years, and I was like, oh, okay. So, yeah, I can hear what Ten Hag is saying. Oh, we win these trophies, and yeah, that's on the 3rd. But at some point, you're going to have to make the switch of, are we just going to keep winning FA Cup and Carabao and staying 5th, 6th in the league and not doing anything in Europa and not doing anything in Champions League, or are we going to actually get better and try to go knock off these cities and Madrids and these other teams in the world? And that's the point where I think that you're at. And you can say that's what I'm saying. You can say you have the trophies, but like, bro,
but we do.
You want? You do,
and
that's what I'm saying.
Managers don't have anything to show for it, though. You have all this, that, but
so you would rather win FA Cups and Carabao Cups for the next 5 years and say, oh well, we've won 8 trophies in 10 years. FA Cups and Carabaos, which you've been 6th in the league every year.
That's a lot of trophies.
Listen, man,
not even that many. Not even that many.
Teams don't win. I'm just saying.
We are not other teams. This level of mediocrity that our fan base has started to settle for is ridiculous.
This is crazy. That's what I'm saying.
Manchester United, bro. Yeah, I'm saying there are standards at this club, and that manager and where we are going, and all the stuff he's spewing is not it. I've seen Berbatov and what his name? Berbatov and Tevez on our bench at one time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but bro, I hear you, bro. But
this is what I'm trying to say. It's
not what it is.
I hear what you're saying. We allowed this manager to buy Mason Mount. We allowed this manager to buy Rasmus Højlund. We allowed this manager,
Anthony,
right?
Don't forget
to bring us the butcher, who right now is looking a little iffy since after this Copa America, right? We allow this manager to make Bruno Fernandes our captain, right? We allow this manager to bench Ahmad. We have allowed this manager to play Rashford into form that he's not going to get. So I am sorry, man. There are levels to this, and this ain't it. If this was club Real Madrid or Barca or any of these other clubs, they move like big clubs. They will bench them and they will get them out of here. Yeah, we need to move like a big club needs to move, and we need to start getting back to what we were. We always talk about this United DNA. That's our DNA. Fergie used to go and take the best players on other people's team and bring them in, and we used to go whoop on everybody.
We're not where this is my opinion. We're not where we are now. Like when I say now, I mean like, as you know, Manchester in 2024. We are where we are now because of the decisions that started happening from 2013 up until this point here. Mm-hmm. This guy, just as good as I do. Let's talk about the managers that have been here. Mm-hmm. And what have they done? David Moyes came and did what?
All right, let's agree. Moyes should have not got that job.
Yeah, that's on Sir Alex. He's the one.
All right, so let's put him to the side.
Okay. Who came in after them? Louis van Gaal.
FA Cup.
FA Cup. But once again, look at that team. Man like Patty McNair and Tyler Blackett, bro. Come on, man. And we were playing better football than this. Don't do me that, bro. Don't do me that.
We were playing better football than this?
Bro, what do we... Man, we had the 5 in the back system. We had them guys overlapping.
I remember.
We were not conceding goals,
like Chelsea. Left wing back.
You know what I think this was going on with? Bro, that FA Cup gave you amnesia. Like, it's really
I'm telling you,
I've been through it. Finished below us. Manchester United finished below Chelsea last season. Don't forget that.
That's what I'm saying.
That FA Cup made it seem like, everything should have been gone. It's all good. 3 games in already,
but he won you're doing
this. His talent ID is terrible. You know what I mean?
Rashford shouldn't have started that game. You don't have the balls to sit Rashford. You're not a proper manager. Come on, man. The way he's been playing the first 2 games, couldn't get this game. Nah. So when I got the lineup, I'm like, Rashford, what is Rashford going to do for you? I know he comes during the big games. He pops here and there, but Ahmad's been playing sensational. Garnacho, even on that side, did not deserve to start over Ahmad, but I understand why he started Garnacho. Rashford, on the other hand, did not deserve to start the game. What did he do? Nothing.
And for a team that lacks goals, Ahmad gives you goals and you sat him out. This is what I'm saying. Get this guy out of here, man.
I don't know how you guys believe in Ten Hag. Like,
so a new manager comes in and that's it? Like, we're good?
I would say a new manager comes in
And what?
and we get back to basics.
We're fixed, right? We're back.
No, hear me out. Hear me out.
You
We
get
get
an
back-
identity.
Listen, we get back to basics and we get identity and then we get a shape and we get some type of
I guess
style of play.
I just don't want
Right.
to turn into Arsenal. We have all the style of play, we all do this, but then we don't win anything. And it's just kind of
No,
like
We're trying to beat the best
we're
team in
winners.
the world.
I think you forgot. You know, we win. You and I, Young Trini and I, we win. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god!
Like we win trophies, we lift trophies,
Right,
bro.
bro.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll put it to you like
Alright,
this:
bro.
we lift trophies, but the trajectory Arsenal is on, we
Mhm.
want to be on that.
Where will they go? Because
I mean,
they keep going, they keep going, they keep
They
going.
have the
They keep
ability.
going.
They have the
I'm
ability
gonna
in the
keep
squad.
going until we get into the next segment because we're gonna keep going. We kept going. We kept going last year and the year before.
That's fine.
I
kept
hear
going.
what you're saying. They're on the
I hear
trajectory.
you. Yo.
I don't think they're going to win
Alright, bro.
anything either. But at the end of the day, but the trajectory they're on,
You're on the hamster wheel. You know what I'm saying?
He said,
Yo,
I don't think they're gonna win anything, but
Arsenal,
I want to be on their trajectory.
Crazy. That's
you
crazy.
know, in terms of
Disrespect is
talent
insane.
ID, in terms of understanding the type of ballers they need, the brand of football that they're playing. I don't want to be scumbagging FA Cups for the next 5 years, bro.
Yeah, but
That's crazy.
to end the United segment, it does. I mean, it's strange that even the commentators have seemed to start talking the table earlier this year, and I know right now they don't look like they're heading in the right direction, but there's still hope, and hopefully you guys figure it out sooner than later, because I think you guys are both echoing the same thing. Ten Hag needs to make better decisions. I think Trini said that from last year when he came on the pod, and I think even Salam has said the same things. He like, maybe not today necessarily, but Salam said the same things. Ten Hag needs to make better decisions, and in year 3, I would hope that he knows his team by now, and that's kind of where I'm at with him. And I said this last week: if you guys want to be one of those teams that fights for top 4, if you guys want to be one of them teams that fights for the league, you can't be putting performances like this together. Not at home, bro. We said this about Villa. We're saying it again about Liverpool. Like, you guys have to put these wins together. At home, 3-0, 2-0, 4-0. Like, these losses are going to look bad, and your fan base. Your fan base is going to be the first to turn on you guys, and when that happens, these players aren't mentally strong enough. Bruno isn't mentally strong enough. Rashford, we already know who he is. Commentator said he had 0 shots. Not even shots on target. 0 shots in these 3 matches. And yet you have Ahmad coming on for 20 minutes, putting in a shift. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the pressure is on Ten Hag now. This is his squad. He's got players in. Xerxes, we didn't talk about his 2 misses, but welcome to the Prem, bro. Just as much as the fans were on you week 1 and week 2, they're gonna, praising you for what you did. They're gonna do the same thing when you have opportunities. Yeah, you guys were down 3-0, but you score the first one, it's 3-1 with 20 minutes left. You score that second one in the 83rd, it's 3-2 with 7 minutes left. You're at home. The fans are back with you. You never know. You're sitting on a hat trick. So it's a tough loss, yes. And there were possibly things that, if you tweak here, you tweak there. If Casemiro doesn't lose the ball, if Mainu doesn't lose the ball. But you have to look at the game as a whole. The manager is at fault, and I think individual play comes in as well. Individually, Xerxes has to make at least 1 or 2 of those goals. Give the fans something. Give the team something. And I think as the year goes on, if we don't start to tighten up in those spots, you guys are going to be a mid-table team. And not to just say it for you, I'm speaking about Chelsea as well. Just to move it on to us, same thing, bro. Today we scored in first half. We looked decent. But as we came out in the second half, from when Palace scored the goal up until maybe injury time, we didn't look threatening at all. I don't know what Mike saw, but after Eze scores the goal, there was about 15, 20 minutes where the game was kind of stagnant. And then it got to 70 minutes, and then it kind of went back and forth a little bit. But I feel like Chelsea didn't have any sense of urgency until we saw the 8 minutes go up for extra time. In that last 8 minutes, that's when you saw Cole Palmer breaking through a little bit. And Nico Jackson, We talked about being clinical last week. We talked about scoring 6 goals, and I said this isn't going to happen every week. I want to see Chelsea be consistent. I want to see us get wins at home. I want to see us be able to go into the international break with a little bit of momentum. And what today showed me is that we're still a young team and we're not ready to play with the big boys. Like Gabriel just said, there are levels. There are levels. Last week, I texted Mike. I said this should be maximum points. We're playing Servette. We're playing Crystal Palace. We played Wolves. I'm looking at those as all 3 points. Because if we have any expectations in being somewhere top 4 this year, and that's why last week I was like, top 4 is attainable, but I don't know if we'll be there because we're not consistent enough. And 3 weeks in, this is showing me exactly where we are. We have 1 loss, 1 win, 1 draw. This is kind of what Chelsea is going to look like until we can tighten up. And I'm looking at, the way that Crystal Palace was set up this second half. Cole Palmer, they didn't really necessarily have a low block. But whenever Cole Palmer got the ball, they doubled him quickly and said, someone else is going to have to beat us today. And so what I saw is that when Cole Palmer isn't allowed to dictate, when he's not allowed to pull the strings, we don't really have another player on our team that's willing to take the leap forward and say, let me take over the game. Madueke, he tried, but he's not that player yet. And so for me, I'm looking at our team like, well, we have the pieces and we have the parts, but when one part of the machine isn't working like it should, the others don't overcompensate. And that's not what a good machine does. A good machine, like the human body, the other muscles will overcompensate when your ankle's feeling a little tweaky or, something like that. And right now we're just not the team that's able to get it done when, we have these sticky moments. And for me, that's why we're not going to be a top 14. I don't see it yet. I don't know what Mike saw today, but it was just frustrating to be at home to kind of just have a 30-minute, 20-minute period in the second half where it doesn't seem like there's any urgency. It doesn't seem like we have the will or the belief that we could go and take this team from a Palace. For the last 10 times we've met up, we've beaten them. And for whatever reason today, they had a little bit more confidence to come in Stamford Bridge and take a point. So it's frustrating. I know we talked about the growing pains with Chelsea, but at this point, I would think that we have a little bit more quality to take over games like today. I don't know how you felt about it, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I think you already said it. Today, our lack of experience showed again. Just like you said, after we scored the first goal, we were okay with sitting back. I don't think we respected them like we should. For half an hour after the second half, nothing was happening. There was no actual progression of play into their final third. It just seemed like we were playing around. And like you said, lack of experience killed us today because there wasn't that digging deep, that next level of, okay, this game is tight now. Now we got to dig a little deeper. We couldn't break them down. And Jackson, as usual, I think he had a good performance. Chances that comes to him, I feel like we need to start figuring it out. You got to start finishing those, and you finish one of those, it's 2-1. But I'm still okay with the performance. I wasn't too mad, but I was definitely disappointed because you have to give Palace credit. They played well. They defended well. In the first half is where we should have really taken our chances. That was where we had them open, and we just didn't put them away. In the second half, it wasn't really that open, and it just didn't seem like we could break them down. And I don't know. Cole had to come a lot deeper than usual, and like you said, they were looking for somebody else to beat us. They were not going to allow Cole Palmer to just dictate the game. And that's where we need to find the next guy. And so far, Felix came in, did his thing, but I think you said in the group, I don't know how I felt about Mudryk coming on before Nkunku.
Thank you.
That wasn't. I didn't understand that one. I feel like Nkunku should have came in a little earlier than that. But today was just that lack of experience. I'm just hoping when Reece James comes back, we can have some type of presence because it still doesn't feel like we have that guy that can rally the guys. We needed somebody today, and there wasn't that guy. Because if you look at the game, first half, I mean, not a lot of complaints in the first half. The second half now, it's like we didn't have a plan to actually break them down. And I don't want to put this necessarily on the manager because these were the same guys we saw last week, that executed the plan to perfection. So to me, it's telling me that, this week they thought it was going to be a little easier. We're at home, we're feeling comfortable. We've done it last week. I think that lack of respect for the opponent today was one of the main reasons. We just didn't think that they were going to hold us. We're going to score at some point. I even thought that, but no.
Yeah, I can agree. I would agree with your point. We probably took this team a little for granted. We definitely took our foot off the gas in the second half. And you could tell, up until when they scored and even after they scored, I wouldn't say we were a little shell shocked, but it's like we didn't think they could score on us. And even the way the goal happened, it was a set piece. The ball gets pinged into the box. There's no clearance. We kind of mess around with it in the box. It gets tapped out, and Eze just has a beautiful shot. And I think from there, we're like, oh, they scored. Now what? Just like you said, Mike, there's no real game plan. And I think that's going to have to come with maturity. And I think that's going to have to come with Maresca, learning this team a little bit more, because it seemed that we, when I look at him as going into the half 1-0, and then not really having a game plan on, do we start off the second half attacking and try to get that second goal early? Or do we kind of just sit back and coast and take our chances when we can? Because if you look at what we did in the first half, a lot of what was going well for us was the counterattack. That's how we scored our goal. That's how we had a lot of these chances. And I think once we got the goal, we weren't looking to counter as much. But in the same breath, we weren't being aggressive. So for me, it's kind of going to be on Maresca when we are in these positions where we're up 1-0, when we're up 2-0, but there's ample time left in the match. How do we coast through these games? That's what I'm looking at now, because like I said last week, we're gonna be able to score. I fully believe that against any team we'll be able to score. I don't think we'll be shut out at all this year. But at the end of the day, we need to be very, very, very we just have to put an emphasis on securing the back, because we leak goals. We've gotten scored on in all 3 matches, and I think today was avoidable. I think today was 100% avoidable. Even if it was one of those tough 1-0 matches you just grind out at home and you move forward, I would have been fine with that. But today showed me that we need a little bit more organization in these type of matches where we might not have, the ability to counter, and we have this possession, and how can we break this team down? So there were a lot of positives, but at the end of the day, it was a match for me that I think we're going to look back, if we don't get top 4, and say this Palace match early was one of those where we it was a huge opportunity that we lost.
Yeah, wasted opportunity for sure.
Yeah, I can agree with that. You guys didn't even finish, man. How do you guys feel about I guess how do you guys feel about this Neto and João Felix performances, and how do you feel about them so far?
I don't really have much complaints, really. I just feel like the midfield play hasn't been what I feel like it should be. I didn't know what position Enzo was playing today. He seemed to be dropping way too deep. So then Palma had to come way too deep. Like I just don't know how I feel necessarily so far about the midfield yet. I just still think there's some question marks that are not very clear on, okay, who's detecting what. So I also think did he end up moving Caicedo to the right back?
Yeah,
I think that also might have been the problem, because I was like, okay, Caicedo on the right side just seems like nothing can go through that side now.
He's already figuring out Reece James replacements.
Yeah, no. Once we made some substitutions, it was once we brought on Mudryk and João Felix, we moved Caicedo back, I believe. I honestly think that was just. He was just trying something which didn't work, which is okay. Like I said, I'm fine with him trying to tinker a little bit in the beginning just to try to learn the team. But as far as Pedro Neto, I think he was a little bit quiet, to be honest, in today's match. Joao Felix came on and there was some sparks. But like I said last week, bro, it's going to be difficult. When you look at our attackers, we have Pedro Neto, we have Joao Felix. We literally just bought Jadon Sancho. We have Madueke. We have Nkuku. We have Cole Palmer. We have Nicholas Jackson. That's 8 guys. That's 8 guys literally for 4 spots, 5 spots, depending on how we're set up. So for me, it's going to be on Maresca, bro. It's going to be on him figuring out how these guys can all fit, how they play the best, because certain teams you're going to want to play certain men, once you figure out the true strengths and weaknesses of these players, you're going to look to see how we can set up to get, to maximize the potential of each player. And so for me, Pedro Neto, he was quiet today. So I'm not sure, I don't really know how to evaluate his performance. Joao Felix came on and gave me 25, 30 minutes and he looked decent, but should he have started over Neto? I don't know. Should Nkuku have started today? Possibly. But it's just like I don't really know because we're only 3 weeks in. So it's on Maresca to figure out how these guys are going to play and against who and what's the best setup for us.
I guess
that's tough for me.
I guess of both of you guys, what do you think is your best team?
We've been talking about this.
Given all those players, I mean,
to be honest, I think he should have made the same sub he did at Wolves. Taking off Jackson, bringing on Joao Felix. I thought, that would have been a good sub to make. Like he kept Jackson and took off Neto instead. Which also I was like, because if you look at last week, Neto and Joao Felix just had a thing going. Right when it came in, it was almost clicking.
Portuguese.
So I'm just like, why don't you just keep that going? But I guess it's early. He's trying to tinker, but. To be honest, I think he's been putting out our best 11 so far. I think when Reece James comes back, maybe him going for Gusto, but I also still feel like Gusto should be playing. I don't think Reece James should necessarily, just jump in front of him.
What do you think about sliding Reece to center back?
I thought the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mike said it, and I've been seeing rumors that we might slide him to center back because the way that Gusto's playing is decent and he's inverting Gusto and it looks like he really likes Gusto in that inverted role. So to have Reece kind of stay more central and be more of a defender, which we kind of need him to be right now because I know his crossing ability is great, but he doesn't have the legs. He's not the player he once was 2 years ago. So for him to be kind of stuck in no man's land right now isn't the best for Chelsea. We kind of need him to just play defense and get back to what he's best at, and that's defending. To me, I always thought that Reece was best at one-on-one defending when he doesn't have to be so offensive. There's not a lot of players that can get by his physicality and his speed. So for me, it's going to be tough because we still have some injuries. We're still trying to learn to these few players. We still just brought on players. We literally, like I said, we just brought Sancho. So I don't even know how he fits with the squad right now. And I honestly think we don't need him. We have too many wingers. In my opinion, we have too many players that kind of all occupy the same space. So it's going to be tough, man. We're in a lot of competitions. And like I said, Maresca seems like he values hard work. So it's going to be who's been working on the training ground and who Maresca can put his confidence in for me. But I would love to see Nkunku start. I still believe there's a player there. So whenever I don't see him as in the starting lineup, I'm always a little worried, to be honest.
Mike, what are your thoughts on Sancho coming? What do you expect from him?
Oh, I mean, hey, I like the depth that it gives us. It gives us more options. It makes our team competitive because if you're not performing, you got to watch over your shoulder. There's going to be another option that's going to come in for you. I like it. I'm not too worried about too many players. No, I'm not worried about that. We'll be fine. You can't predict that, nobody's going to be injured. If people go down, at least we have enough to replace them. But we have enough talent in this team that I think we should be able to fight for top 4. So it's I think it's going to come down to our lack of experience. We'll have a lot of wins that, should have pulled out, and over the next couple of months, I think we can't keep using that excuse because these guys would have been here going to 2 years now. So it's like we can't keep doing that for you guys, but like we get it that you guys got to get this thing going, but at some point we can't just use that excuse for you guys anymore.
Yeah, and I'll end
how
with
many
this.
times do you have to go through that to figure it out?
Yeah, and I'll end with this. The core of our team, I mean, yes, we brought on new guys, but I mean, if you look at the core of our starters, the majority of these guys were here last year.
Exactly.
So these are guys who have gone to a cup final, albeit that we lost. These are guys who have gone to a cup semifinal. These are guys who are now playing in Europe. These are guys who are, some of them are coming off playing for their country this summer. So a lot of these guys, whether it's year 2, and we have a new manager, but a lot of these guys already know each other. So for me, it's yes, there's going to be a learning curve with Maresca, but can that learning curve be quickened?
It should be a little quicker.
Can we get a lot of these mistakes out week 1? Can Maresca's tinkering be done in week 3, where we don't drop all 3 points? Yeah, it's a tough point to swallow at home, but can we get these out of the way in month 1, month 2, so that it's not taking us all the way until January?
Exactly.
Because that's where last year, it took us all the way until January, February to figure it out. And then by the time Cole Palmer was running, a lot of the guys had to catch up. If we can mitigate all that right now and have these guys make their mistakes in the beginning, have Maresca tinker in the beginning, so that by September, October, we're looking a little bit more solid, I'm fine with that, which is why I don't want to look at this match too heavily and be like, yo, this is the reason why this. But at the same time, I need these issues to be plucked out like now. Seriously, like right now, because I'm looking at our team and I'm looking at the players we have. I'm like, look, we're too good to be tied against Palace. I'll take it right now, but I'm not taking it in match week 20. I'm serious.
Exactly.
I won't have the same patience. So for me, I just hope that all these get nipped in the bud real early, because again, if we're in Conference League, even that we didn't talk about that Conference League match, but we luckily we got through. We lost 2-1 in the second leg, and I'm not going to put too much stock on it because we moved. But these are things that, with the quality we have, shouldn't really be happening for me.
Exactly.
So, all these things happening in the first month, I can kind of let it. I'll let it by. But match week 15, 16, 17, when I'm starting to see these same things happen, I'm going to look at the manager. So I'm just saying that on wax now. So down the road, there's no confusion on my feelings for this guy, because like I said, I like the way that we're looking so far, but with the quality we have, these things need to be nipped in the bud. That's all I gotta say. But
I agree.
To move on to Arsenal, who also had a tough week. Not a loss, but having their star center mid Declan Basmati Rice get his first senior red card, which we could talk about it. I believed it was soft. I really don't. Character. I really don't agree with the red card, but now he's out for the North London derby. I feel like it's always something. Man. I feel like it's always something with Arsenal and Tottenham. I feel like it's always something with them before the North London derby. Something happens, but 1-1 match, red card to Rice. Gabriel, what were your thoughts?
I think we should have just beat them in the first half. We had so many chances. Saka had a chance. Odegaard had a chance. I don't know if Kai had another chance in the first half, but I know he had one in the second. Saka had another one in the second. Like we had times to put this match away when we had 11 players, and we had times to put this match away when we had 10 players. And for me, like I can look at the performance and cool, Brighton started off the season hot. They started well. So, they're a good team right now. They're in form. We got to play them in form, and great that we got a point. But I look at this match as we should have won this game in the first half. And on top of that, their goal, I know we have 10 players, but there's no way that we're letting their center back break 4 of our lines, bro. Like, jeez.
That was a great pass.
It was I don't want to take anything away from like amazing pass, amazing ball, like great run, everything. But for my club, there is no reason that we should be allowing this center back to break 4 of our lines and play a direct ball in on goal. unacceptable. It's just unacceptable. And that's my whole thoughts about the game. If I'm being completely honest, we should have scored more. Saka, I need you to score at least one of those. You had 2 chances. I fully believe that. Yes, you should score. Kai Havertz, he had another chance. You need to score. Like, we need these to be goals. Some of these need to be goals. Odegaard, I need you to get on the stat sheet, my guy. I need to. We need everyone to contribute, and it's unfortunate that we couldn't finish our chances today. As far as Declan Rice yellow card or the red card goes, it's so soft. Like, I think I can understand, I guess, a little bit of what the ref is saying, but at the same time, by the laws of the game, the ball is moving. You're not supposed to be taking the kick anyway. He puts it right next to his foot. So in Declan's head, I can even believe, like, if the ball is moving next to him, he's like trying to kick it back to give it back to him. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not even, I don't know. I think it's just soft. Like, even he got kicked. Like, bro, it should just be a talking to. Listen, I'm not going to ruin the game, but both of y'all chill. There's just no reason that needs to happen, and just continue. Like, for me, there's really no reason to give a red there. I personally don't agree with it. I think it's extremely soft. And I mean, it's unfortunate he'll miss the North London derby, but
You'll be fine.
I think we'll be fine. That's what I'm saying. I still with my team.
No problem.
Still with my team.
You got Jorginho.
We have
Jorginho
and
Moreno.
We still have Partey. Moreno. We don't have Moreno right now, but we have
He's hurt his shoulder.
Where is he?
He hurt his shoulder.
Yeah, he's injured.
Oh, damn.
Out a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Signing the contract, the heaviness.
Like Euro. Mike, what did you say?
I said he's out a few weeks, but Marino.
Yeah.
It's all part of the game.
He's out a few weeks, a couple of weeks.
It's part of the game.
He won't be here until probably end of September. But yeah, no. I'm just. I still think we'll be fine. It's just, I mean, a weak red card. It is what it is. I'm not going to put too much stock into it because, like I just said, we had 2 clear-cut chances when we had 10 men, and we had 2 to 3 more clear-cut chances when we had 11. So finish the game. This is like we won first half. Finish the game. I just don't see why we don't. And if we want to, like we say, we want to be the best in the world. We want to beat these cities. This is the games that you have to get through and get. You can get all 3 points against this team. Like, they're not better than you. They're not better than you, even with 10 men. Like, we still dominated. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to put this game to bed still. And we're at home. Like, come on. This is where I'm at. But yeah, it's frustrating, but at least it's early. Let's get it out the way early. And I don't expect too many more of these matches to continue. But we need to finish these chances. This is not a season to not put goals away. Everything needs to be a goal. Run up the goal differential. Goal differential has become so. I mean, it's always been crucial, but I feel like even now in these years, it's so crucial. Get the goal differential right, and put these teams to bed early. Stead the game early. We scored 2 goals in the first half. Even if we get the red card and they score 1, I still think the game is dead. Like, you know what I mean? So it's frustrating. Honestly, it's frustrating. I'm not even looking at Brighton. Great goal that they had. Great ball by the center back. But looking more at my team, like, bro, lock in. Like, you know what you have to do. I don't know. You've been through it twice now. You want to go through it a third time? Like, you know what it takes. You've been through it twice now. At this point, you should know what it takes to get over a hump.
Yeah, it's too early to be dropping games for y'all.
It's too early to be dropping. Like, these need to be 3 points.
You gotta win at home, man.
We have we should be, like I said, at this point we need to win every other home game. Like, we should be 17-1-1, 18-1 at home. Like, win every. Why was Liverpool so close to City so many years? Because they went unbeaten at home for 4 years. They didn't drop. Like, I mean, of course, they had draws in there, but most of these are wins. Like, don't drop points at home. Don't drop points at home. So it's annoying, but we move. We have 2 extremely tough matches coming up. So, and these are points that we need. This is not the time to go into a slump. This is not the time to go drop points somewhere else. We have to get it together. And it sucks that it's just early in the season that we have a back-to-back like this. But listen, Ipswich had a tough first and second match. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Just we have to go in there and put in a shift, and we have to get 3 points. We have to get 6 points. Like we have to put in a shift. So yeah, man, it's not too much to say. It's very very frustrating, but we gotta make it a short memory.
I think the biggest thing that was clear to me, especially watching the Chelsea match and watching Liverpool match, is just taking control of your chances and being clinical. I mean, when you look at Liverpool, yes, they were all off mistakes from the defense, but the clinical, and me and Gable watched the match today together. The Luis Diaz goal and the Salah goal were identical. One touch passing, they got the ball in the box. One touch, perfect, buried it in the corner. It's very, very identical. And when you look at those shots, those aren't the easiest goals to score. And I'm looking at some of the chances that Saka had, some of the chances that,
the Odegaard chance.
The Odegaard chance.
Like, come on.
We're not even talking about how he got pulled early. He got pulled in at the 70th minute, had to give the armband to Saka. This is your guy. This is the guy that's supposed to be leading your team. And I know it's Saka as well, but I'm not just speaking about Arsenal. I'm looking at Nicholas Jackson. I'm looking at Matchweek. I'm looking at Cole Palmer. Yeah, that free kick got saved, but he had chances as well. And when I'm looking at our teams, this is why Liverpool is looking scary, because not only are they clinical, but they're defending this year. And for me, just like Gabriel said, the goal differential is going to be one of the most important things. They are looking scary. And so right now, you have to finish your food. That's the name of the game. You have to finish your food, because week 20, week 30, when it starts to get cold in January, we know how these guys kind of clench up, how they get a little, we know that winter is coming. So it's finish your food now, because we don't know how much food we're going to have during when the harvest ain't here, Right. So that's the one thing I will say to Arsenal. You guys do have to finish your food in these matches, because just like you said, if you finish, if you're up 2-0, 3-0 going into the half, that red card from Rice doesn't sting as much, and you're able to go ahead and you're able to move players around, and Arteta has a little bit more liberty on who he can bring in. But yeah, man,
I'm telling you, man, I want to look at the stat. Like, every game that we've scored within 20 minutes, I wonder how many we've gone on to win, because I guarantee it's probably 95%. Like, if we score in the first 15 minutes, I wholeheartedly believe that we score at least a goal a half, at least one. So and we got our goal like 42nd minute ish, 43rd minute. If we score one of these chances in the first 15 minutes, that goal in the 42nd minute is 2-0. Red card, it's red card or not. Then we have still 2 other chances with 10 men that we should finish as well. 4-1 game. Like, okay, even if we don't finish all of them, 3-1 game, 10 men. It's still like it. These are the games I look at that are so frustrating to me, because it's like we're better than this team. There's not even a doubt in my mind. Yes, they started off the season well. They're in form, yes, but we're much better than this team. Finish your chances. I don't know what else you need to know or hear. Like, finish your chances. Unless you guys want to be second again. I know I don't. I know they don't.
Might happen.
So finish your chances. Just finish your chances.
Could be third.
Let this all right. I don't even think you shouldn't be talking to me, bro. But
Jordan shrug.
But
it could. Yeah, you're right. Could be third.
Nah, man. So before we get into predictions and shout outs, I just want to give a PSA. Everton, leave the Premier League, please.
Oh, they will.
Just for the betterment of the league, just leave.
They'll have the
Because
best
that
stadium in the
performance,
championship.
that performance this weekend was the epitome of Everton in the last like 3 years.
Yeah.
And somehow, like I said this week once, somehow they just finesse and somehow figure out how to stay up by the hairs on their chinny chin. But Sean Dyche, man, you need to be gone. And Everton, it's nothing personal. It's just you guys, you're stinking up the league, man.
They'll stay up because of that new stadium.
I don't know.
They
But
have to. It's not getting built.
Yeah, I'm leaning more on the side of it's never getting built. But yeah, man. So I know we have the international break coming up, so we're without Premier League football for a little bit, which is sad. Gabriel said it when we were watching the match earlier today. You get 3 weeks in, you get a little taste, and then just like that, we're all for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. I feel like it's not fair, but it's a good little precursor to what this season would feel like. I feel like Chelsea kind of showed exactly what our season's going to look like. But any shout outs that we have before we wrap up here in a little bit?
Yeah, I'll start. I guess just wanted to say rest in peace to Sol Bamba. Lost in the football community. So shout out to him, his family. And then my player shout out is two. One, Dominic Baji got his first goal for DC United. So
Shout out Baji.
Yep.
Open.
And Toby Collier, the academy graduate that came out for United in the second half, was thrown on into a tough situation because the senior players simply just can't get the job done.
Debut too.
So yeah, good for him. It's unfortunate the circumstances when and how he had to come on, but yeah, shout out to him. I think that there's a player in there, so shout out to Collier.
I'll give one shout out to Dalit, man. I was a little worried about this signing coming to our team, but for first game, hostile situation like that, I felt like he did good. I felt like he had a solid performance today at Old Trafford in a hostile environment, even though the manager probably didn't give him the best tactics today.
I don't have any, so I'm disgusted this week.
Yeah. For me, none from Chelsea, but shout out Mbappe for opening up his account over there in Madrid. 2 goals today for all in the 2-0 win for Madrid, and then Isak, shout out to him, game winner, opened up his account, got his first goal for the season as well. That's about it.
Yeah, shout out to Arnie Slot, man. I'm slotting out these United boys tonight.
I see that the media, obviously, NBC Sport, all of them, they love him, which is cool. I understand it comes with it, but we'll see. We'll see who's.
I enjoyed it.
We'll see where everyone's at. Definitely, we'll see where everyone's at. It comes with it.
He's playing more Ajax ball than Ten Hag. Crazy.
Before we get out of here, Gabriel, do you want to update us on our locks of the week?
Yes,
yeah. So yeah, locks of the week. If you would have followed Michael, he is 3-0. Brentford money line did hit. Salam's lock of the week also did hit under 3.5 goals. They lost 3-0. So you would have put that in.
Shout out.
You would have been
Xerxes
good.
was missing. I was like,
Cornelius' lock of the week. Did not hit, unfortunately. Newcastle did not win.
We
Drew
have to
1-1.
celebrate when you hit.
And
We
then
have to celebrate.
right, yeah, because you're off to a rough start, buddy. And then my luck of the week hit. We did draw 1-1 full time, but if you followed Arsenal first half, definitely did hit. So
That was a
two
great
two and one. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, first half we'll score a goal. We'll score a goal.
crazy you guys tied, but yeah, if you followed Gabriel, you would have won some money, as well as Mike and as well as me. So
You haven't lost with Salam. You haven't lost with Mike.
yeah,
You lost one with me, but we right back on the track. Now CP, you gotta catch up. I don't know what you're on.
Feeling like Chelsea, man.
He bet with his heart.
But yeah. So I mean, yeah, we have this international break for the next 2 weeks, which is, like I said, terrible. But North London Derby, just to get into predictions. Yeah, this is gonna be tough, honestly. This is gonna be tough for Tottenham because I don't think that we'll lose. I think it'll be a tough environment, but I think we'll go in there, get the job done. Nice 2-0 win. Yeah, nice 2-0 win. Keep it pushing.
okay.
And it is what it is. So
You said lock of the week.
Nah, his prediction.
listen, bro, we're not gonna drop that until that weekend. But yeah, no, I think my team will get the job done. Declan Rice or not, we're much better than this team. So I feel.
I smell a snippet somewhere in there. We'll go. Young Trini and I will go. Carrie, I'm going to talk to you here. I think we beat Southampton.
If you don't,
If we don't, what, Mike?
Come his days.
This game is at St. Mary's Stadium too, so we're away.
Yeah, so you know that
Good old draw, 1-1.
Y'all usually do good on the road, so
yeah. There's a few guys that I like on Southampton, but I don't think that they'll have enough to handle us, especially with close to the full team coming. I might even call it GRG.
I was waiting on it, honestly.
hey, do your
Listen,
thing.
This one's favorable. I'm gonna call the first GRG of the season.
Jeez,
wow.
Right here.
break it down, y'all.
This is a get right game for Manchester United.
Is this a
will
lock
win
of the week?
at the St. Mary's.
Okay.
So lock of
I'm
the
gonna-
week. We'll see.
I'm gonna say this is gonna be a 2-2 draw. For us. I think we're gonna score goals. I feel like Southampton is gonna find a way to score, but I'm calling this right now. I'm calling a defensive lapse. And we're either gonna give up a set piece or a penalty, and that's how they're gonna get back in the game. Due to poor coaching.
Okay, and coaching.
Poor
But see,
coaching.
what is it? Did Ten Hag tell Casemiro to try and make that on the second goal? Did he tell him to try and thread that pass through in between two players?
I don't know what he was thinking, bro.
Once again, the man had the worst game of his life. I would say that I've seen. I can't say it's the worst game of his life. Maybe he has another opinion of a worst game he's played, right? But once again, he was not put in a situation from a tactical standpoint to be successful for the time he was out there in the field, and that is on the manager.
Okay, sword those trophies.
Yeah.
Asking a man to run 100 meters in 11 seconds, man, that's crazy.
This is the modern game, Kerry.
That's crazy.
Move it or lose it, Kerry.
That's crazy. 3-on-1 in the midfield, man. I guess, man.
Nah, you're right. Definitely, there are things that we need to figure out for sure.
So, 2-2 draw.
Okay.
Everything hot out.
When we come back from international break, we see Bournemouth at Bournemouth. They're coming off of a very emotional, heartfelt win. So they'll have all the momentum. I honestly see this as like another like 3-2, 4-2 Chelsea match.
Who
I
did
think
Bournemouth beat?
Everton.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
So we'll see. I think we have more quality than Bournemouth, and the way Bournemouth like to play, it'll be very open, which I think is a little bit better than what Palace did. Palace was a little bit more organized at the back, so we couldn't really break that down. So I think there'll be a lot of goals. I'm looking at like a 3-2, 4-2 match. I think Chelsea will win.
Yeah. Chelsea will win. Chelsea money line.
Lock of the week.
Nah, it's not a lock of the week, but
Yeah, I'm gonna have to reconsider.
Nah, man, good episode, guys. Kerry, thank you for coming on, man. A lot of fun having you on as always. You're welcome.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Always
Thank
a
you.
pleasure.
I think after every United game, after every Big Six United game, you should come on.
I'll make it happen.
Yeah, bro, you should come on. I need reinforcements. I don't know. Sometimes you and I are going.
I give it like it is, man.
That's fine. As do I. The facts are the facts. It is what it is. What did he say? He said the facts. That's reality. He said deal with it. You have to deal with it. So,
That is disgusting.
And I'm dealing with he's tactically inept.
Yeah, man. Some say tactically inept. Some say a trophy winner.
Wow.
I guess.
This guy's shame.
Welcome to Africans Talk Football. Yeah, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Appreciate everybody's support. And good luck to you in your future endeavors.